Hey, all you recovering emo kids. Amanda and Rob here with the Emo Kids Anonymous podcast. And on today's episode, we have Tom from the band The Townies joining us today.
Townies!
The Townies!
I love Townies. The Townies band.
From Boston. Brock Rock. From Boston, but lives in LA now.
But live in LA, proud fans of El Tarasco, the best Mexican food restaurant in LA. They won me over very quick with that. We like Townies.
We do like Townies. It's a group of friends who started their origin story at a summer camp in New Hampshire as some camp counselors with the hardest group of audience members you could probably have, and that's middle schoolers, Rob. Middle schoolers are
kids.
Brutal.
Shitheads. Yeah.
No. Think they know everything.
Well, yeah, I'm not a big fan of middle schoolers. Yeah,
no.
I know that's rare in the pop punk world, but yeah, not my little assholes.
Did you say that's rare though? Jeez.
Sorry.
Anyway, we had a really interesting conversation with Tom today, just talking about their influences.
Tom's my guy.
And what they have coming up next. Talked a lot about their EP with Billy Migno, who produced it, of the Kerosene Heights fame as well, Blaming All the Weather.
Yeah, Billy Migno doing everything. Also a big favorite of Tom's from Townies as well.
Yes.
Did the Saturdays at your place, who I believe I've heard a rumor they're going to be on our show soon as well.
I have heard that.
I heard you heard this rumor as well. Yeah, we don't know if
it's
true or not. It's unconfirmed. Yeah, but it
weird
is
that we don't know as the only people who are employed by this podcast. But you know.
We have a boss. It's like a car dealership. We got to have someone above us that we like pretend we go to that, when people like, because we've started getting those things where people reach out to us and they're like, hey, we want to come on your show.
The emo god. Yeah.
And I don't know quite how to respond to them because it kind of feels more like a thing where it's like, okay, well, it's more of like a me or Amanda really fucks with you and then we hit you up thing. It's not so much like a you submit to be on the show. It's more of like a passion project. And so like if we had a pretend boss, Swimo. Hey, Ryan, you're our new pretend boss.
He's always been our pretend boss.
Yeah, Swimo ixnayed you guys. Sorry. Swimo said you can't come on the show. Sorry, whatever Swimo said goes.
True.
I feel bad about it, but it just fucking happens sometimes.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Anyways,
Ryan's a hard guy to please.
Yeah, Ryan is a super hard guy to please. One of the toughest bosses I've ever had in my life. Now, Ryan, I can hear you. He's looking at me right now. He's in the room. Yeah, he's looking at me. The fork is in the kitchen. He's looking right at me. He's doing like the thing where he's going to spank my bottom. So I need to tell you, if you're watching, listening, streaming, whatever you're doing with this pod, I need you to prescribe and subscribe to us on the Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, all three. I need you to check us out, Emo Kids Anonymous. I need you to check us out on TikTok, Instagram, and the artist formerly known as Twitter before it was owned by that fucking dork Elon Musk. And not only that, I need you to check out neveraphasednetwork.com. They recently made me write an article. I hate writing. I don't even believe in reading. I'm an American. These aren't things that we should have to do, okay? These are things that are inalienable rights to us. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of literacy. These are things that were given to us by the founding fathers. So
don't worry, we're way on our way to literacy in America, Rob. You're fine.
I know. In the land of the no readers, the guy that read every Goosebump book as a kid is basically the god, okay? So thank you. Go follow Never Phase Network on the many social media sites I mentioned as well. But that being said, do you have anything else before we kick it to this interview with our pal Tom over in Townies?
No, I've got nothing. Let's go ahead and hear more from Tom. I'm looking forward to it.
What's up, man?
Hey,
what up?
How's it going, Tom?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Just chilling. No, it sounds great. So you guys are originally from Boston, but we live in LA now?
Pretty much, yeah. Technically, Chris, our bass player, is from New York, but the band is from Boston. Nolan and I both grew up outside Boston.
What part of Boston y'all grew up out of?
In the suburbs. I'm from Needham. Nolan's from Medfield.
Okay.
And we all met in New Hampshire working at a summer camp.
That sounds awesome. I've been to New Hampshire before.
Yeah?
Yeah, an ex-boyfriend, long story, lived in New Hampshire, and I went and visited him in the wintertime. And let's just say that's probably not the best time to go to New Hampshire, but he was really into snowboarding, so he took me. I am not a good snowboarder. So, yeah.
It's a little chilly up there.
I bet. No, my roommate she went to school in Milton. Does that sound Yeah. Okay. That's where, yeah. So we used to visit her in the summers. Love Boston.
Okay. Sick.
Yeah. But y'all are in LA now. Did you guys move for the band or just found yourselves out that way?
Pretty much. Nolan, who drums, was going to school out here. And when I graduated college, basically was just like, I'm going to move to LA and be in the same city as Nolan. Cause like we'd been doing Townies like in the summer and like between college breaks and all that. So It was kind of like the one thing, like if I don't at least try to do it, I'll always wonder like what could have been, you know? So
Yeah.
me and him were out here and Chris was still in New York at that time. And then like we played a couple shows, did some recording where Chris would just like come out to LA and couch surf for a couple weeks or something. And then finally we got Chris to move out in like 2022, I think. And
Okay.
been here ever since.
Are we like Valley boys? Are we West Siders? Are we in the city?
Yeah, more west side. I'm on the west side. I've kind of lived around like Santa Monica, Westwood, Brentwood for years. And then Nolan and Chris are down in Manhattan Beach and have been for the entire time.
Sick. My dad grew up in Manhattan Beach. The best Mexican food in LA is like in the South Bay area down there for some reason. That's the spot. That's the spot. I was going to say El Tarasco is the spot. Like when I was a kid, that's where my dad grew up going to the El Tarasco on 316 Rosecrans right there, right?
That's
the
the
Manhattan
one,
Beach
yep.
location. Yep. Wild. Yeah, that's the spot. Like when I'd fly in, I grew up in Canada and I'd fly down to San Diego to stay with my dad. I'd fly into LAX. We'd go to my grandpa's in Long Beach. And first thing we'd do is stop at El Tarasco, fill up because we're going to my grandparents' house. And they chain smoke like a motherfucker. So like when you're a kid, you'd be losing your appetite with all that secondhand smoke, you know? So like, yeah, as I go get the number 5, there's another location, another El Tarasco location in Inglewood.
Yep.
And I posted a video there because I go there after the Charger games. And they hit me up and were like, thanks for the video. Anytime you come here, like we'll give you a tour and we'll like the meals on us and this and that. I'm just like, this is like equal to being knighted, you know? This is a major sign of respect.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to tell the guys about that. They'll be so excited.
Right. I was like, that's the fuck. I didn't want to give El Tarasco the free plug, but they deserve it. Once you said it, I was like, all right, we don't have to gatekeep the Mexican food.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. So, Tom, tell us a little bit about Townies. I'm assuming Townies is a reference, like, and I might be wrong, but isn't that like a term that you might use up in Boston? Is that like a term that, okay, so I'm not wrong in that, right?
So it's funny because like you're absolutely right, but you're also wrong about like why we're called Townies.
Okay, good.
Like,
yeah, okay.
Townies is very much a Boston term.
Mm-hmm.
None of us claim to be from like the city of like Charleston or something like that. But I mentioned earlier, like we all met at a summer camp. We would work there, literally taking care of children over the summers in New Hampshire. And it was like on a lake. And technically in New Hampshire, you can't own a lake. You can only own the property around it. So like the lake was public and these locals would come and like fish on that lake. And we would refer to them as Townies when they would come and just like kind of be weird. Like we're like trying to teach kids how to swim and there's like dudes drinking beers in the middle of the lake while they're fishing. So there was all this like kind of lore about the Townies and the lake. And then we played our first set ever, like just to the kids, just kind of like jamming to them. And somebody wrote Townies on a piece of paper and put it on the kick drum. And like that was kind of the name that just stuck. Yeah.
There we go.
Did the kids have any like favorite tracks off of like Of This I'm Certain or anything like that, or were they more like old heads who were into like, you know, the deep cuts from, you know, before the record?
So the way it kind of worked, this was like 2015, 16. Like we were like high school, college age working there. And like the first iteration of Townies was like every summer, whoever was there and who was musically inclined would like perform cover sets. Like we would play like, it's kind of like emo night on. Like we would play like Sugar We're Going Down and like Mr. Bright. The most obvious songs ever because it's like these kids want to dance and sing and mostly cover their ears. But now what's kind of cool is like since we've branched out of camp and like actually are like doing the thing to a degree at least, now we have like current counselors who were campers when we were there, like that we were in charge of. Always like listening to the music and reaching out to us and they're like covering our songs and stuff. So we're always hearing about like Townies being having a legacy there, I guess, which is really, really cool.
You guys, what kind of camp was this? Like, was this like a specialty camp or just like regular old summer camp?
Just like a classic, like stay in a cabin for 2 weeks, shoot some guns, shoot some archery, and like you got a lake, you're swimming, you're doing all sorts of stuff.
Perfect. But no 80s horror movie stuff happened, which is a good thing.
Not that we would manufacture that kind of stuff as like a, like
camp
try and
lore.
scare kids sometimes, but I feel like as the definitely more of a thing in like the 2000s. When I was a camper, I remember there were more frightening things.
Yeah.
And then by the time I was on staff, they were kind of
back in our day, we were a lot more into bullying and things
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
like-
Yeah, just making things a terrible time for everyone else.
Yeah.
Yes, scare the shit out of everyone. Why don't you? Yeah.
That's what you do. Yeah. So Tom, what got you into, I don't know if you could speak to Chris and Nolan's influences, but what made you decide you want to pick up a guitar in the first place and start playing music and then of course forming a band? Like what all went into that?
Yeah, for me personally, I'm the youngest of 4 boys. Like, for anyone who's listening, who's the youngest, like you kind of know you're just like a product of what your siblings do and consume.
This is true.
So like, I was hearing a lot of like Blink and Sum 41 and Linkin Park and like that kind of stuff, and I was just super drawn to it when I was younger. And a couple of my brothers were fairly musical.
Okay.
Nothing crazy, but playing guitar pretty regularly. We had instruments around the house.
Nice.
And I remember I loved listening to music, but I never knew how to play. And then in 7th grade, it was a summer from 7th to 8th grade. I specifically remember this. I was staying with my grandmother in New York City, and I got super into Blink at the time. And I was like reading their Wikipedia page, and it said that Tom DeLonge taught himself how to play guitar when he was 15. And I was like, I'm 12. I have a 3-year head start on like my favorite guitarist. So
Right,
like,
yeah,
what
good
excuse
idea.
do I have? So like, as soon as I got home, I found a guitar and just like Googled how to play. So that was the guitar origin story. And then
Nice.
I don't know. I feel like I always wanted to write songs. I feel like I was kind of into like poetry in a loose way. Like I always enjoyed writing in English class and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't until probably high school. There was like a program in my town. You sign up and they like put you in a band, and once a week you have a rehearsal with like a kind of like a
School of
teacher.
Rock almost.
Very similar, yeah. It was called Plugged
Interesting.
In, and like none of the friends that I had growing up were into music at all, especially not like punk and emo and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So like to kind of have this mechanism, this like outlet I could kind of plug into was really, really cool. And then every session there was like a performance at the end of the semester or whatever you want to call it. So that was like my first time being in bands and having to play live shows. It was all just covers and having fun, but
Yeah.
you kind of stack those experiences, and then being at this summer camp where people were really encouraging of other people's like creative ideas and stuff that they wanted to do. It all just kind of snowballed. And then I think once I met a drummer, which was Nolan, like I'd never known a drummer, like had a drummer I could jam with. Like that's when it was like, okay, now I can do this, because it wasn't enough to do this
Feels
alone.
locked in.
Yeah.
For sure.
Drummers make all the difference in the world sometimes.
Very
You
important.
mentioned Blink, and I believe we've had previous discourse about Blink on the internet. What are your top 3 Blink records?
It's self-titled for sure. I call it self-titled. Some people call
I
it
called
I feel-
Untitled. Yeah,
we might have argued about that.
Yeah, right. We went full internet for a second. I was like, it's Untitled, bro.
Yeah.
Like Mark Hoppus said so.
I muted somebody on Twitter the other day because they were talking shit about that album. I don't remember who
Yeah,
it
I would do
was.
the same.
Uh-oh.
I would do the same.
I was like, I literally never want to see anything you have to say ever again.
Yep.
That one is like, I just don't know how you can listen to that and not think it's their best album. And like,
Thank you.
in the context of what they had done to become popular at the time, it's like, it's incredible. It's a masterpiece.
Yes, thank you. Beautifully said.
2 for me is definitely Dude Ranch. And I don't know what it is about Dude Ranch, because I know all the songs kind of sound the same, but like it just slaps.
Has a charm to it. Has a charm. It has
Yeah.
like a rawness. You
Yeah,
can
it's
almost
like-
tell. You can almost tell like that's a band that's going to be special especially when you listen to it in hindsight. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Scott was such an underrated drummer. Like he does the same beat for 14 songs, but it's like it always feels like it works, and the production
It's
on
all-
that album
yeah.
sounds amazing. And then after that, like I don't feel super strong about Enema or Pants and Jacket, but I'd probably lean Pants and Jacket just because I think it has like best songs.
a
I
little
would
more
say that.
dynamic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, if I didn't have like the personal attachment to Enema being like my entry point, like it's without a doubt, yeah, Untitled, Self-Titled is the best one. Now I gotta ask you, and I hate to like almost be calling you out, but this feels like game recognized game. When I listen to Top Ramen going into Plate, all I can think of is Easy Target going into all
Nice.
of this. Did you just go up to Billy Migno? Did you just go up to Billy Migno and just hand him the record and say, "I want that shit right there"? Was that the actual influence, or
You-
am I jumping?
So what it is, it's the drum beat from all of this is like Nolan basically just repackaged that for Plate and then put his spin on. And it was super intentional. And it's like, he loves Travis as anyone should. So you're absolutely right on that. And
Hell yeah.
My reference point for that idea of like flowing it in, one, like when we rehearse, we oftentimes will just like go from song to song, like unspoken, which I'm sure a lot of bands do. And that always felt like a pretty smooth transition, just like bunch of feedback at the end of Top Ramen, and then the riff starts and whatever.
Yeah.
For me, it was more Bad Luck and All Wrong by The Story So Far off their second album. That was like, because I remember hearing that for the first time, like the day that album came out, and being like, oh, did that song change or what was that? Because I was still kind of new to album construction at that time.
Yeah, he didn't know nothing about production yet. You're like, shit, what happened there?
Right. So I think that was the reference that we gave Billy straight up.
Nice.
Sick.
Very, very cool.
Speaking of Billy, you guys, obviously the most recent EP, Speak With Your Chest, that came out, about 2 months ago almost by the time this comes out.
Mm-hmm.
You guys did that with Billy. What was your experience there working with him? Because he's kind of become, the fucking dude in this world, What was your experience and what is it about him that kind of makes him be that dude?
Yeah. Billy, like all technical skills aside, which he's a wizard behind the board, like I think what he is best at is like just making a comfortable environment and like understanding what you're looking to achieve before clicking record. And I remember like we flew to New York, we played a show on a Monday night, and like the whole idea of the show is just let's force ourselves to be ready to play all these songs in a live setting days before we go into the studio. And Billy came to the show, so it was like it also kind of felt like us, like, oh, we better play these well for our producer who's here.
Yeah.
Pre-production almost, yeah.
And I remember him saying after that show, we were shooting the shit with him, and he was like, yeah, like day one, we might not even record a single thing. I just want to get to know you guys and like talk about music and talk about everything. And I remember being kind of like, oh God, like, I feel like maybe we should be recording stuff, but
you're like, shit.
We got to the studio.
For this?
Yeah, right. But we got to the studio and like first, literally maybe 3 or 4 hours of being there, we just sat and like chatted and like looked up songs. And the craziest thing for me personally was that like I think Billy and I just have really, really similar taste, not just in music, but in production. And like, it was just freaky, dude. Like every time I threw something out where I was like, oh, I really like the way this certain thing sounds, it was like he would complete the sentence. And then even talking about bands we didn't like and songs that we thought sounded crappy, like we were so aligned. Yeah. So it very quickly created an environment where it was like, all right, we know what we want this to sound like, and we know Billy can help us accomplish that because clearly we're speaking the same language here. And just like a super nice person. So that helps.
Yeah, that makes all the difference in the world, especially with a producer going in and feeling comfortable. And I mean, he clearly understood what you guys were looking for after getting to know you. And I think that is so key.
Yeah.
A lot of producers go in there and they're like, this is what I think we should do. I've been listening to your stuff. But he's like, no, let me sit down and let me talk to you guys first and get to know you. Yeah.
And I think we intentionally made sure we had a little more time than we thought maybe we needed.
Yeah.
Because just like being rushed in the studio sucks so much.
100%. Yeah.
I think we did 5 days for 6 songs, 3 of which were like 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
And that's like more than enough time for a 3-piece to get everything done. So
yeah,
the pace was smooth. Like we were able to take long breaks when we felt like we needed it. And he's just great. Like appreciate that he's now just a friend. Like we text with him like a couple times a week, just shooting the shit about stuff. And it's really cool.
I love that. So speaking of the production of the EP, so one of our favorite people in the world, Nish from 10 Months Summer, he had this question in regards to the new EP, because there's clearly a much brighter sound, a lot of earworms and vocal melodies that are present here versus in your album previously. So was that intentional, or what were you trying to go for? What did you want to gain from going from of this I'm certain to Speak With Your Chest? Like, what was the
definitely Yeah, and I saw this question ahead of time, so I was able to like reflect on it a little bit.
Bro, every time, like every now and then, if I like interview, like if we interview a band like I really fuck with, like, and like I know like you're kind of part of like that little Twitter community, I'll be like, yeah, you guys have any questions or something? And every single time, Nish will ask a question where I'm just like, that's a lot. That he's got like a master's degree in like English with like some poetry. Like he's a genius. I'm just like, thank you, Nish. Like you're a producer on this show.
I'll try to answer it eloquently then.
Yeah, do your best.
I think it was a combination of a couple things. Like one, I think just as a byproduct of some of the songs being a little bit more like on the indie rock side than on the punk and emo side, naturally that like lends itself to a little bit tighter production and all that.
Yeah.
Again, like we had more time, so we could tighten the screws a little bit. When we did the full length, like we were really trying to cram everything together, and like it was a studio that our producer had never worked at before. So even just like the time it takes to figure out what plugs in where, like.
Yeah.
But there was also like there was definitely an effort and a vision to like try to make it sound clean.
Yeah.
And polished, just to do that. Like we never really had been that deliberate, and especially on the vocal side, like that was something I wanted to accomplish, was how much vocal stacking and layering can we do that still serves the song well. Like harmonies, I want to know before I show up to the studio exactly where I'm going to be harmonizing and what the sound of it should be, and all that sort of stuff. Just forcing myself, specifically for the vocal piece of it, like forcing myself to think that through ahead of time a lot, and then demoing it out and like hearing it back. And so that was kind of the result of a lot of intentionality. And I think what really, like I'm a huge Pool Kids fan, and that full length record, their self-titled one, just like blows my mind every time I listen to it, because it's like every sound that you hear at some point somebody had to decide was going to go there.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to come even a tenth of recreating. It's like, how deliberate can we be? And what's cool is like we did that, and now I want to, for whatever we do next, I kind of want to go in the other direction a little bit. Yeah, like I kind of want to go back to being a little more raw and seeing what we can do, So it's all progression, I think.
When did you guys move out here, by the way? Like, what year was this?
For me, it was 2020. It was like the end of 2020.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Because I hear, like, when I listen to like the full length compared to the EP, the full length, to me, you guys feel like an East Coast band.
Mm-hmm.
And East Coast music, I would almost, say is like, it's more like arm around your buddy, beer spilling, singing along in a basement or in a bar. But the EP feels more West Coast. Like the EP feels very like West Coast is more like you're driving on the PCH. Maybe you got your buddies in the car and you're smoking a joint or something instead. You know what I mean? So I was like, when I was listening to them, I was like a couple months ago, I was like, this must be where they switched from Boston to LA. And then I was like, oh no, these are like 8 months apart. Like that doesn't really add up. Like I don't think that's when the move happened. But like sound wise, like I hear that. Is there a chance that like Weezer, Waves, or Best Coast are possible influences?
So honestly, 0 for 3, but
wow, sick.
I will say Shopcat is a song I wrote like a week after moving to LA. So maybe there's something there.
Okay.
That was very much like I had super bad writer's block.
My favorite Townies track. Yeah.
That's sick. Cool. That's actually my least favorite song on that EP. Sick. I still love it. I love it very much, but
I'm just like, this is perfect, like West Coast pop. I'm like, okay, right here, I want the verse to end. I want to do the instrumental break.
Yeah,
and come
exactly.
back.
Yeah.
Everything, it hits everything right when I want.
And that was one of those ones, like, it was an acoustic song for 5 years that like I always liked and like wanted to record at some point, like probably as a solo project. And then I think Chris just like demanded that he play a bass line over it. And once I heard the bass line, I was like, damn, all right, this could maybe be like an awesome indie rock song. And we actually have a photo, the first time we ever jammed to it as a band, and it just like came together so quickly and just like immediately sounded really cool. We all were like, all right, we need to take a photo of this moment, because like I think we just wrote the sickest indie rock song ever. And just in case this like becomes the biggest song in the world, we need to be able to look back at this moment. So far, we're not on track, but it's cool to have the photo.
It's
like
slow burn, baby. Yeah.
Slow burn.
Is Amanda, real quick, is Tom's camera normal for you? Oh, there you are. Wow. Right when I say that, it goes back to normal. Shit. Awkward.
Yeah. It might always be a little bit off, but then once in the post-production, everyone's cameras
That's what
are
I thought.
Yeah.
No, it was like paused for a minute. I was like, but it's my first time on this computer. I don't know how the internet works. So I was like, fuck, is it broken?
I'm also using a laptop that I got for my high school graduation, which was
sick.
Longer ago than I think it was.
I think you're younger than both of us, so don't make me feel too bad about it.
Yeah, right.
So what is your favorite song then? Yeah, like what are we going with then? If we don't like Shopcat, what's your favorite song on this? What makes you?
I need to clarify. I love Shopcat and I'll always love it. But if I was like ranking them,
your least favorite child, it's the sixth favorite child.
I'm gonna like give you an answer and then like stay up all night regretting the answer I gave you.
Perfect. Perfect.
There we go.
I think it's probably Bleachers. Like,
Yeah.
I think that song is just like, we'll probably never write a song that sounds like that again. That was one that I wrote on an acoustic guitar and like also had no intentions of making it a Townies song. And Chris claims to be like my Rick Rubin, because whenever I write a song that's not supposed to be for Townies, he'll listen to it and be like, dude, come on, like this could totally be a Townies song. Like, let's try it. And that was one that like we spent a lot of time reworking the structure to make it flow well. And like, I just think it's really cool. I like that song a lot.
Yeah.
Sick.
I like Bleachers as well. It's one of my favorites.
Nice.
So what else? Wait, so what's your second favorite then? If it's not Shop Cat?
God, I think this is where it gets really hard, but I think
Sure, yeah, it gets confusing. There's a clear
I think Top Ramen is up there because it's just kind of a bop. It's like easy to bob along to, and that's an old one. Like I wrote that in college, so I have a lot of like really positive nostalgia because all my friends in college, like we'd like go out and get drunk and come home and they'd be like, dude, play Top Ramen, play Top Ramen. So like,
sick.
yeah, and it was just like,
so it's almost like a homie cut.
yeah, exactly. And
I
like,
love
there's
that.
a version that's on SoundCloud still from when I first wrote it. That's like acoustic and low key, and that's what everyone knew it as for years.
Yeah.
And then we Townies-ified it. And then from there, I think Dissecting is just like a super sick song that's like hard hitting and fast and fun. So those are probably my top three. And I love the other three very much as well, I swear.
They're good kids.
We believe it.
Yeah,
So
they're good kids.
Yeah.
the good kids.
You don't. Yeah, I'll ride for Shop Cat and like Dissecting and stuff like that. I got you. You know,
Let's
the
go.
kids you don't love. I'll
Rob will
I'll
take
adopt
them
them.
under his wing.
take
Sure.
them under my wing. Yeah, they'll be
Every other weekend or something like that.
Yeah, of course. Super.
Always.
Let me ask you. So you guys kind of like, I see as part of this rough world that we could loosely umbrella, identify, yada, yada, whatever precursor you want, DIY emo. Yet when I hear you guys, I hear very like indie, almost West Coast indie rock now, this and that. What do you classify as emo? How do you identify your band? And how do you kind of see this modern world of emo? Because I see it right now. It's in this beautiful little spot where I feel like it's a bubble. It's about to burst is bad, right? I mean, in a good way. Like it's about to burst
and float.
It's about
maybe?
to like it.
Yes.
It's like I feel like in like a year or two, like a lot of these bands that like in our world seem like big deals, like a Saturdays at Your Place or a Kerosene Heights. Like in our world, they might be a big deal, but maybe aren't on a actual mainstream level. I feel like we're on the closest thing we're gonna get again to like a 2004.
Sure.
I guess how do you define emo and all that? Where do you see your guys' place in this? And
It's an impossible question. Like, I feel like when people ask what type of music my band plays, it very much depends who I'm talking to before I answer it. Because like if a coworker asks, I'll be like, oh, it's like punk rock kind of. But then if like an actual punk rock fan asks me, I'll be like, well, it's more on like the indie side. Like,
yeah.
Makes sense.
so I don't know. Like I really enjoyed that we have a lot of influences that are like punk and emo adjacent, and we try to not even try. It just kind of happens naturally. Like we write songs that sound like stuff that we like, and it's kind of an amalgam of all that. So I usually will say punk/emo/indie rock, and I feel like that covers a wide enough range. But for like the broader emo scene, I just think emo's an easy word to like throw on a lot of it. Like I don't really feel like we're an emo band. I don't think we really sound that much like a lot of what's considered current emo. But it's more of like the DIY scene. Like
Call
if you
emo
only
adjacent.
Yeah. It's like a
weird,
it's a bigger thing. Cinematic universe.
Interesting.
Yes,
It used to be a very like a punk rock thing, like DIY and this and that, but I feel like it's become like the emo world has taken it on so well to where like a lot of bands, even like Kerosene Heights is emo adjacent, but Combat, even like I don't think they're emo at all, but like it kind of falls under this umbrella where it's just like it's DIY, like it's underground, whatever you want to call it. Like if you're part of that world, you're part of that world, and it seems a lot more supportive now than it maybe was 10, 15,
You kind of just know it when you hear it. It's like I feel like you say emo nowadays, people immediately assume that you're in like an open tuning and you're doing some crazy riffs, and like you're not wrong, but then why is Oso Oso an emo project? Why is why are all these other bands considered emo when so I don't know. It's like it's just music. It's just good music, and it's a community.
Exactly.
And if you if you don't have Twitter, it's fantastic. If you do have Twitter, it's the
Twitter is
worst
a
place in the
dangerous
world.
place for any genre of music. Twitter
It's
is a dangerous
iffy.
place.
It's iffy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy like the occasional Twitter, music discourse because I'll get really wrapped into it for a second, then I'll realize like, wait a second, if I step outside, nobody I speak to,
Yeah.
if I talk to 100 people, none of them would know a single fucking word I was saying.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Like I remember, a couple weeks ago there was something about a very big band in our world, and I was like, oh, are they canceled? And I watched like the 10-minute video, and I'm just like, I don't feel, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was like, I don't feel like any of this makes sense. I was like. Who is the bad guy here? I was like, do we all just need to go outside?
Yeah,
Maybe.
exactly.
A little bit.
Maybe.
For me, it's like, all right, I guess I have something to do today now. I'm just going to like watch how this unfolds and hopefully not get involved in any way, shape, or form. But
Yes.
other than that, like the interactions that we've had with the people we've met through this big scene are just like so overwhelmingly positive. So hopefully people remind themselves of that and like keep that going, you know?
That's the
Who
most
are
important
your?
part.
Let's keep it limited so you don't leave anyone out. Who are your 3 to 5 favorite bands in that quote unquote world right now? I feel bad. We had Emway on recently, and they listed off like 15, but then it becomes like shit. The bands you're leaving
it's
off
so
are getting
terrifying.
shaded.
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
who am I not including?
Right.
All right,
Fuck.
the
sorry.
immediate number one has to be Collars from SoCal.
Sick. Yeah, they're right up the street from me. They're like Chatsworth kids or something like that.
They're
aren't they?
Antelope Valley, like Lancaster.
Jesus. Wow. Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
There's not much to do up there.
Except
There ain't
write
shit to
amazing
do up
music,
there.
apparently.
Yeah, they rip. Yeah. No. Okay.
But they're just the goats. We've been playing shows with them for a couple of years, and we're about to announce an EP release show with them. And it's like, we always knew that they were sick and like loved their music. And then they put this full length out, and I get like emotional every time I listen to it because I'm just so proud of them. Kerosene Heights is like an obvious one. You already mentioned. I don't even need to go into detail. They're just like, it's so cool that they're getting their flowers right now because they actually, I think a lot of bands just kind of sound the same right now and are doing similar stuff. And that doesn't make it bad, but it can be convoluted or maybe congested is a better word.
Yeah.
I feel like Kerosene Heights is just like so clearly a step above like all of us. And I'm excited to watch.
Especially with the new record. It was really cool. I'm sure it was the same thing for you. Like, and it wasn't just like the podcaster is like my personal, every Twitter feed, I swear to God, was just like giving the flowers.
It was the only thing.
Kerosene Heights. Like it was like Taylor Swift shit in our world. You know what
I was
I mean?
like, I love them, but like, I'm trying to see some Red Sox content.
Nothing
like,
else,
come on.
right? Like,
Yeah,
right. I'm
Red
trying to
Sox.
see like shit. Like Padres got a series against the Dodgers this week, and I'm trying to like,
exactly.
I got to worry about Fernando Tatis. All I got is fucking Chance on my feed, you know? Like, but no, that's one. Respect.
And then, oh God, see now I'm gonna like leave people out that I'm gonna say Garden Home from Milwaukee because we did this tour in April where we played with like 15 or 16 different bands over the course of it. And
a lot of Wisconsinites popping off right now.
They are.
let's go.
Yeah.
Garden Home was like, out of all the bands we saw, the one that I'm like craving to see again as soon as humanly possible. Like I just think that they like feel like they're doing something different. And maybe it's just because I'm not super involved in, I don't even know how to classify them. It's like screamo post-hardcore, but
Scramsy.
yeah, it's just like, it sounds different. It's played different, and they're amazing. I love them so much. And then I got to shout out a couple Massachusetts bands, Sub Punch and Lousy are like the day one homies for us. And they're like not involved in the Twitter sphere at all. So I feel like it feels like they don't get any love or credit. And I've just been trying to get people to listen to them for years because they deserve it.
Hell yeah.
100%.
Shout out some locals. I like that.
Exactly.
Was it weird going from Boston to LA and realizing there's a bit of a sports rivalry and realizing you're kind of on the rough side of it?
If I have any advice for anyone out there, it's just don't move to the city where you just like hate every sports team in that city. If you're a sports
I feel
fan.
you, buddy.
Like, I
feel you, buddy.
It's so terrible. I hate the
Same.
Lakers so much.
You know what? I
Like,
loved the Lakers before. I used to
Oh
love
my
the
God.
Lakers, and then I moved to LA. I loved the Lakers and I loved the Trojans. And then I moved to LA and I just started fucking hating them.
yeah, I
dude.
just like want everyone to be miserable.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
See, just do what I did. I went from Pennsylvania, where it was like the Eagles and the Steelers and the
Nice.
Phillies, to Kentucky, where there's nothing but the
Yeah,
UK
the
Wildcats.
Wildcats.
That is not the same thing. There's no
Yeah,
rivalry
Calipari.
between the
Yeah.
Eagles and the Wildcats. So
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
safe. Yes, I'm good.
Yeah.
So
It's brutal. I shout out the Chargers though. I love the Chargers. I'll root for them all day.
I appreciate that. Yeah, because growing up, the one team that always seemed to have our number was the New England Patriots. So I had a bit of a soft spot or a negative spot towards
that's fair.
That's okay. General New England region growing up, just because I'm like, fucking just manhandle us every time.
Those Patriots.
It was like the moment I became like a sentient, like capable of thinking and understanding the world human being, all my sports teams just started winning championships. For,
I know, you're
my
such
entire
a
life. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm very grateful.
You even
for
got like a Stanley Cup in there with the Bruins. It's not fair.
Got
I've lived my whole life
with
zero. It's honestly the only thing I think, like, sometimes I'm like, if the Chargers won the Super Bowl or the Padres won the World Series, first off, I'm going to flip my buddy Robert Nealman's car. Shout out Robert Nealman. I hope your insurance is up to date because your Hyundai's getting fucking flipped. But like after that, I'm honestly like, what's the point of anything anymore? Like, this is kind of the one thing that kept me going. Like, I root for
the Padres big. I'm always rooting for the Padres, so
I was going to say, I appreciate that support. I was going to say, you guys are, last sports question, sorry, but you guys are about 5 games behind, right? You guys are about 5 games behind the Blue Jays right now. You had a hot little run there in July. Well, how are we going to get back in here? I know we're fighting for an AL wildcard spot.
I just realized I have the game on right now, but thankfully I haven't been looking because I'm enjoying our conversation. So I'll look later. We're up 4-3. I think we'll host a wild card game, and I think this team's got some heart. That's all I gotta say.
Got some heart. Got one guy that might be a little racist, sexist, homophobic, but you almost gotta
Every team's got a couple of those.
Yeah, everyone's
people
got
just know about ours.
You have the only one that's like loud enough to say it out loud. I mean, they're baseball players. Like, I'm sure half of them feel this way. Let's be real. All right. Sorry.
Now back to the intended programming.
Sorry, everyone listening. I apologize.
Yeah, in case you were not into sports, which is typically not par for the course with our scene. No, but Tom, so as you were talking about the production of the music, I noticed it seems like you're writing a lot of the lyrics. Is that right? And then the rest of the band's coming up behind, adding their parts and stuff. So what does that writing process look like to you? Since I'm assuming you're doing the majority of the lyric writing.
For sure. Yeah, and like song by song, it's honestly different every time. Like there are songs that I'll write the entire thing on acoustic guitar, and then I'll send a voice memo, and they'll be like, "This is cool," and then it's like, "All right, time to make it more exciting," and that's where like their creative input really comes in, and then it's going from there. Other times, like literally last week in the space, I just happened to start playing a riff, and like then Nolan started playing a beat, and then Chris started playing a bass line, and then I started making up like nonsense words, and I hit record, and I was like, this is going on the next album. This is awesome. So it really does vary from time to time. I feel like one thing that I have tried to get a lot better at is like being open to the collaboration, just because like I love drums and bass. Like when I listen to other music, I think about not just guitar and vocals. Like I think it's all really important. So like it's really easy for me to get overexcited and want to be like, all right, like you play this beat here and like you play exactly this.
Yep.
And I feel like we've gotten better, and a lot of this I think falls on me to just like be a little more selfless and be like, you guys come up with your input. I'm going to do my best to keep my mouth shut. Or if I give you an idea, like please tell me if you disagree, because I get really nervous sometimes that I'm like being an overbearing singer guy, but it really is different every time. And I just really appreciate that like I get to be in a band with 2 of my best friends on planet Earth, because we're not afraid to like say shit to each other.
Yeah.
If someone's not doing their job, like they're going to hear about it.
Like, you lose the eggshells kind of thing. Like we talked about like Blink. Like to me, like Neighborhoods isn't as good as it should have been, because like I feel like they weren't comfortable enough to be like, yo, tell them this shit sucks. Or
there you go.
Like, that's what, you know what I mean? Like it's just kind of like, okay, we'll do that. We'll do this. You're kind of just agreeing. Like, when you're with the boys, I imagine you guys can be like, yo, this sucks.
It's cool looking back and like there's specific parts in like all these songs where I remember like, oh yeah, like that was Chris's idea. Oh yeah, like this was Nolan's idea. Oh yeah, like I had this idea forever, and then I showed it to them and they were down. Like, which I'm sure is the case with most bands. There's some collaboration happening. I selfishly would love to do a solo project someday where I just get to decide everything. But every time I think that I'm going to do it, like we just turn songs into Townies songs, and it's way better because those guys are involved.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You Townified the songs real quick.
Yeah.
Literally.
So you guys have been able to play a lot live as well. And I know you have a show coming up September 1st with Leisure Hour, Arcadia Gray. So talk a little about, the evolution of that live show for you guys. What is that, what was it like when you first, obviously maybe your live shows start out at the camps, right? Doing your acoustic, right?
Yeah.
And
Literally.
then
Austin kids are a tough crowd. They will literally do this. to you.
that's true.
No, yeah.
What is
Fucking
your
animals.
toughest crowd? Is it the kids from camp? Or what
Gotta be
has
the
been your
fucking
toughest crowd?
kids.
Yeah, we had, I mean, these kids are 8 to 15 years old. And like, also, we
Brutal.
weren't
Middle
very
schoolers.
good. Like,
Yeah,
fine.
to be fair to the kids.
Yeah, in their defense, like, we weren't blowing anyone out of the water, but that was like a great place to like just learn how to be in front of crowds. And especially for me singing, like, I was never ever comfortable singing in front of people until I was there. And everyone's just encouraging each other to do stuff. And people have different creative outlets, and that was mine. And then over time that evolves. But like live show wise, I feel like it's definitely developed. Like it's funny listening back or like watching old videos from even as recently as like 2022 and being like, damn, we thought we crushed this set, and I'm watching this right now and like we just don't sound good. We don't sound tight.
Yeah.
But we love playing live. Like I feel like any band should, but sometimes it seems like some bands don't, which is weird. But like that's the escape. That's like what you do it for. And we rehearse every week, and we'll just like run through a bunch of songs and we'll jam, and it's fun because it's supposed to be fun. So we make sure to keep it fun,
Yeah. Do you channel anyone like in particular, like for your energy when you're there as the lead singer on stage? Is there
Not
anything
really.
in your head?
You're
not throwing the mic around. I'm just kidding. You can't
Talk
really
about
do that.
I would if I wasn't playing guitar, that thing would be wrapping around my neck. But I was a huge Taking Back Sunday kid.
Yeah, shout out Adam.
Yeah. When you get confirmed, like in like the Catholic religion, you choose a middle name, and I chose Lazarus when I was in 8th grade for Adam Lazara. I'm not even kidding.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, it's
my
like
God.
so ridiculous.
No,
That's awesome.
I hope that
That's
Adam is listening.
Emo,
I thought it was
emo
so cool
Boston
at the
shit
time.
I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, right? That was on my confirmation. I did like a New York accent. I'm sorry.
I hope there's some young
Or
kid
Howard
listening to
Boston.
this who's like, that's a good idea. I'm going to do this.
It's also like a badass name too. Like
It
It's
is,
kind of sick. It's kind of sick, honestly. Yeah.
It is.
But like playing live, I've been trying to get better at like channeling something. Like I don't know, for years I would just play and like look at the crowd and just like smile and be like, this is so fun, like let's go.
I'm having a great time.
Right, yeah. But I feel like lately I've been trying to be a little bit more like present and like just focus on the songs more so than the audience, and I feel like that translates to a better performance. So like I'm more secure, I think, on stage than I used to be. So like that allows me to just kind of lose myself in the song, and like I'm not planning to like jump at certain points or like yell stuff at certain points, but if it happens, it's because it feels right,
Yeah. It's just ingrained in you, and you're just feeling the moment as it happens. Yeah.
I don't have it in me to be like, everybody get the fuck up. Like I just like
you
can't
don't-
really do
I don't
that.
think I could imagine.
Your ego riser, light box shit to hop on and be like,
Yeah.
like open up the fucking pit. Yeah. You guys,
Yeah. I'm just
It's
like,
not
oh, like,
opening up.
if you guys want to dance, like you could totally do that, but you also don't have to.
Yeah.
Best thing that anyone should say when they're on stage.
Don't feel
If you're up-
pressured.
Don't feel pressured.
Yeah.
Your space. Do what you feel like you need to do. I love that. Oh, it's awesome.
All right. I got to
Go ahead.
ask real quick. I got to ask. So I bring this up every now and then. I like to ask people for one, the clickbait rage-based stuff. Also, just because I feel like it is like as a closeted, unlicensed, undocumented therapist, I feel like this tells me a lot about people. What's your Mount Rushmore of bands in general in our
Of
general
bands?
world? Yeah. What's your four?
Okay.
If these four bands don't exist, there's no Tom, there's no Townies, there's no
Yeah.
nothing.
All right. I'm gonna say the Menzingers are definitely one of them.
I fucking got
Which
it.
I think
Yes.
the reason Rob and
Fantastic.
I have ever interacted was because I saw him posting about Menzingers
Yeah,
on
I think I
TikTok.
posted on the Impossible Past, I think, or something, or yeah, like something like that. Yeah,
That's just like they're just the goats. It's the best band ever.
yeah.
Oso is probably on there. Pine
Figured
Grove.
you're an Oso guy based on
Yep. And I'm gonna give slot 4 to. I'll keep it modern. I'll say Max Seal, just because
Okay,
if I'm thinking the past like
Nice.
8 years of my life, like,
Yeah.
I feel like Menzingers have always been there, and then those final three. Yeah, good
What's your
bands.
favorite Menzingers record here?
On the Impossible Pass is definitely my favorite. That's like my favorite album of all time, I would say.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And then After the Party is like its sibling, like it's the follow-up to it almost, even though Rented World is kind of in the middle. But yeah, On the Impossible Pass is the one.
Nice.
On the Impossible Pass, man, when I first heard that, it fucked my life up so much. Like, I remember listening to, like, I think it was like Gates. And just when they, there's this, or CVS parking lot line, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just like, fuck, there's like a simplicity to this and a conversationalism to this, or whatever the word would be. I was just like, everything's trying to be poetic or smart sounding. It's just like, this sounds so like, as it's happening, it's like nothing I could ever create will be this album. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah. I love,
like
when bands have two singers and they work so well together. And like, I feel like Greg is like a master storyteller, and like you listen to his songs and you're like seeing things happen.
Yes.
And then all of Tom's lyrics are like incredibly poetic and like vague, but you kind of have to piece the puzzle together.
Yes.
It's just such a nice balance to listen to an entire album where you get both of those forms of lyricism. And like I feel like I'm less good at the Greg stuff. I'm not that good at like painting the clear picture. I try to be subtle as much as possible, but I've like definitely tried at times to take influence from Greg. I just think they're incredible.
Yeah, they really,
just
really are.
To me, maybe one of the best, maybe the best modern punk band or last 15 years or so, whatever you want to say, from like Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Well, really from On the Impossible Past, they have like that three. I mean, Rendered World doesn't
I would
get the
include
love it
Chamberlain
deserves.
too. Like I think the first record's cool, but it's like you could tell they hadn't quite
they were learning,
put it all together. Chamberlain Waits is fucking phenomenal, and you go there through After the Party, and then even the one after the Party. What's it called?
After Exile? Is it After Exile
or
Exile?
Hello Exile.
Yeah. Hello Exile. My bad. Yeah.
It's like a perfect like two bookends of an era, and the stuff before it and after that era is awesome too. But yeah, that music's just. It's really important to me. I love the Menzingers so much.
That's when I say, like, your first album sounds very East Coast. That's what I hear is, like, I feel like I can hear the Menzingers influence in there so much.
For sure.
And the West Coast, like, I went 0 for 3 there. I'm like, that's what I hear. Like, that's what it is. No, not at all. But, like, I think that's also so, like, you've lived here long enough where, like, the region, the sunshine, the whatever California bullshit it is kind of starts seeping into you that I think that just, like, you don't have to be influenced by it. You're just influenced by the same things they are.
Yeah, it's not like 6 months out of the year I'm sitting in like dark rooms and like cold, and it's like, oh damn, it's really nice out. I'm gonna listen to something that's not about being miserable for a change.
Yes. Yeah. You're like, I can enjoy every day. I can go for a car ride. I can go for a bike ride. I can go
pretty
to the
sweet.
beach. Like, the worst it's gonna be is like 75 degrees. Not so bad.
Yeah, you could get some pretty crazy winters in Boston, so LA sounds a lot better sometimes.
But yeah.
Boston sounds nice though. I've never been. I would like to experience Boston. Yeah.
No, check it out.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Fenway Park sounds fucking magical. I had one of my best buddies went to see Bruce Springsteen at Fenway Park, and it was just like, I'm so jealous. Like, this feels like something I need to experience.
Yeah, like that. Those shows seem so sick. Like, there's just like a camaraderie in the area. And again, like I'm a total suburban kid. Like I don't even know the city that well, but it's like something about it. You kind of know people are from around that region of the country when you meet them, and it feels like home for sure.
Yeah. Gotta love that. So now, Tom, I have a question. What is Brock Rock? And does it have anything to do with the link on the bottom of your link tree that you click on that says "Do not click on this"?
No,
it's not.
Before we talk,
I haven't gotten that desperate.
It's a recipe for the best broccoli in the world. I gotta know what the story behind all this is, and are these things linked in any way?
This is all just like Nolan, our drummer, like being a mastermind of just like the dumbest comedy ever. Like it's like he in like and I mean that as a compliment. I truly do. Like I appreciate that you guys did your homework and clicked the do not click this link.
I was like, am I gonna get a virus? Should I do this?
This computer's brand new. I ain't trying to catch no viruses. Yeah.
And mine's old enough that I deserve a new one. So I was like, I'm gonna click it.
Yeah. The Brock Rock thing was very much just like an inside joke that I think he and his friends created, like Brock being like a pot reference, and then we had to like, I think we uploaded a demo to SoundCloud, like the first time we ever wrote a song together. And
Okay.
for genre, he just wrote Brock Rock.
Genres,
Yeah, I remember thinking it was like the funniest thing I'd ever seen. So like,
it's pretty good.
We decided we were gonna roll with it. We were like, oh, like every band like needs to have a thing. This could be our thing.
That's pretty good. Shit.
Well, you made
And now
stickers.
smoking so much weed, I didn't even think of broccoli being weed. I was just like, oh, Brock. I was like, I don't know.
And now we're like in our late 20s, and we're like, that was really dumb. Like, we're kind of stuck with this now.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So what's the deal next? We did the EP last month. Are we gonna get a full length in 2026? Are you doing one with? We just worked with Billy. Are we working with Nick next? What's the plan? What's the plan for the future at Townies?
For sure. I mean, everything I say is TBD because we have no actual clear plans. But
yeah, the TAF, tentative as fuck.
For sure.
The new
The goal is definitely for the next release to be LP2. And I feel like now that we have the full length that we're really proud of, and then like a follow-up to that we're really proud of, and there's like actually people listening to it, and like I think we want to really challenge ourselves to just be as deliberate as possible with this next batch of songs. Like I want this next album to be something that, I don't know, that feels like we went the extra mile, and like you can tell. And I don't really know what that means quite yet, but I'm like, right now I'm like in inspired songwriting madman mode. I like haven't been sleeping the past like week and a half because we're like coming up with song ideas, and they're just like nonstop buzzing in my head. So that's usually a good sign for the band and like making progress. It's not a good sign for my day-to-day life, but everything's a give and take.
Work and relationships can come second. That's okay.
Yeah, but that's all right. And then as far as like who and how and where we record, like just kind of not worrying about that right this second. Like I would love to work with Billy again. I'd love to work with Joe again, who did our full length. I'd love to work with both of them at the same time if we could make that happen. I'd love to do like
two guys, one
like,
board. Shit.
Yeah, I'd love to like rent a cabin somewhere and like go in for 3 weeks. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know. We have to sit down once I think we have more songs written and more of a vision, and really have a conversation about like what is possible with our scheduling and our budgets and like taking time off work and all these different things, and how big of a thing do we want to make this? Because like the way I kind of see it is, I don't know, I just think it's fun to do. Like recording an album is like the most exciting thing
it's
you
a nice
can do.
Thing, right?
Yeah, and I don't mind like if it means I'm like blowing a bunch of my savings on it, like hell yeah, that's like why I'm saving in the first place. And I want to go do it somewhere cool, and I want to feel inspired and then have something I'm really proud of on the back end. So
yeah.
So have it for your life too, you know what I mean? Like it's the thing, like you'll look back 10, 20, 30 years from now and be like, this is fucking sick, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I don't know, that's truly the reason we're doing it in the first place. So I just want to keep doing that. And like, if more and more people are hearing it and want to keep hearing it, then that's just all a bonus, you know?
Yeah. I love it. Doing it for the passion and for the love of the music, not necessarily at the end of the day making the money or anything like that.
Yeah,
that
not
would
a
be
whole
nice.
lot of money to be made.
Not
so.
a lot of money to be made in this world anymore. Yeah, you gotta do the OnlyFans thing. Yeah, you're gonna have to start.
We might change it to please click this link, and it's gonna bring you somewhere else.
With a little chili pepper emoji. Yeah, that gets the people freaking quick.
Yeah. And then besides the September 4th, do you have any other live shows? I think you're doing Fest, right? In October?
Yeah, so we're actually next week. I guess this will have already definitely happened, but
yeah.
In case you guys want to share the word, we're playing We're Trying Records Fest in Chicago on Friday.
With our friends in Tenmo, right?
Yes. So
dear friends in 10 Month Summer.
Nice.
Yeah, hell yeah. They're doing an acoustic set, I believe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So we're doing that, and then after that, we have that gig with Arcadia Gray.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to announce our EP release show very soon, which we're doing with Callers and a band called Pop Free from out here. That's going to be...
Doing it here?
Yeah, we're doing that in Boyle Heights.
Good. Then Robb could go.
Boyle motherfucking Heights, home of Lucha Underground. Wow, what a neighborhood to do a show in. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a spot called Make Out Music that is super sick.
Oh, yeah, we're familiar. We're
okay,
doing
cool.
September, October?
October 11th is the current hopeful date. I think it's booked and everything. We just need like
I'll be there.
Make a flyer.
Fuck yeah.
We're doing Fest, and we're just like relentlessly harassing booking agents every time a tour gets announced and hoping we get to be on big shows. So TBD on that.
Let's slide in some DMs.
Best way to do it.
We're not afraid.
It's easier to make the shows in SoCal happen than the rest of the world, the nation, right?
Yeah.
The Once Great Nation.
Yeah.
Basically just like, hey, it's me again. Like from that last email, I saw this other one got announced. What's up?
Let's slide in some DMs. Let's do it. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Lesson, the moral of the story. Awesome. Well, Tom, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. It was a great conversation. For anyone who's looking to get in touch with you guys or learn more about who you are and where they can find your music, what's all of your social media? Like, where can they find your social media?
Yep, we got townies.us on Instagram. That's like that's where we put important information.
Oh, okay.
Townies_Brock on Twitter. If you want to just see me like say dumb things about
discourse, if you want to see me and Tom go at it about 20-year-old Blink albums,
if you want to see me post 15-minute videos about why you should cancel certain bands. No, I'm just kidding.
Fuck.
I try to post on TikTok regularly without like hating myself with the content. So if you want to see like random live clips of us every now and then, I think it's townies.us.
Yeah, it's like
hard. It's so painful.
It's so painful sometimes.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck it. Yeah,
I feel like I'm
inhibitions.
I can't quite bring myself to like lip sync to our songs and post it. I just can't do it.
Bro.
But I know I have to probably
Would you like us to do it for you? Would that?
Yeah, you guys should do it.
I've said it before. Like, no, I like made a post before where it was like, I'd hate to be in like 15 years ago, 10 years ago when I was in a band, you just had to like follow people on MySpace or Twitter and you'd send the auto DM thing and it was annoying. But like, I'd hate to be in a band now because you have to do this like fucking lip sync to your band thing and be like, good, wow, you found a band that sounds like Blink-182 and No Doubt and Weezer, but they are so small. But we're not famous, so we can respond to your this and that. It's so cringe, but it's like you got to play the game. And
I respect the hustle. I'll never give someone a hard time about it.
No, I think a few people thought I was talking shit. I'm like, no. Like I'm saying this out of respect.
I wish I could do it. I can't. I cannot do it.
Yeah,
that grind seems gnarly. Yeah, trust me. Like I feel bad enough lip syncing other people's songs. Like my own. Like
I feel like that our promo for this interview should be just Rob and I dual lip syncing.
Yeah. No,
please.
I'll
shop counter bleachers.
Ramen like a motherfucker.
Yeah, please. Let's go.
No, we got this. I'll promo this with a full. I'll even do the thing I do. Yeah, no, I got you, bro.
Sick.
I got you, Tom. I got you.
Also, if people want to buy our vinyl, it's on the Brain Synthesizer website and the Townies website. And I'm like a traveling salesman right now. I'm telling everyone.
Oh, yeah.
So
no, that's
hit it up.
Plug your shit, brother.
Let's go. I gotta make Billy some money so that he can record us.
Yeah, right. You're like
that's true.
Billy Migno, that motherfucker ain't cheap.
Yeah, all these bands keep booking him. His price is going up.
He's booked up, and these records like shit.
I'm gonna start saying he's not good to work with.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
reverse psychology. That
is a racist. Yeah. Said a lot of bad stuff about the Polish. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I had to pick something obscure enough that so it wouldn't actually get picked up.
Yeah, for
sure. I was trying to do Billy dirty. Yeah, no, we're trying to get him on the show.
Exactly.
You definitely should.
No, appreciate you joining us, man. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, ton of fun. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks,
no problem.
Man.
See you later.
Thanks, Tom.
Later, brother.
Just in case you weren't aware, this show is a part of the Never a Phase Hey guys. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you weren't aware, this show is a part of the Never a Phase Network, a collective of creators keeping the spirit of the scene alive. You can discover more shows and creators like this one at neveraphasenetwork.com and follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Never a Phase Network. Long live NapNet.